Hi Griffin-Scopers, thanks for being here. So it's been a couple of days since I've done a video, and I was driving in my car, I was wondering who should I cover. I was kind of thinking maybe Jeff Bezos, but nah, boring, didn't feel inspired. I looked up as I'm turning the steering wheel and I was right on a street or a road called Queen's Road. Guys, there's only one queen as far as I'm concerned, and that is the true Lilibet, Queen Elizabeth, our longest reigning monarch. I think she did some 70 years, good on her. I was kind of thinking, I wonder what her legacy would be. And it would be something really simple, like, because she loved the simple life, believe it or not. It'd be something like keep calm and carry on, wouldn't it? So that's what we're going to do, keep calm and carry on. Before I get into the reading though, please don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel, really helps keep the content coming to you. And if anybody would like a private reading with me, then please do get in touch. My email address is in the description box. So Queen Elizabeth is a Taurus, and we can see those Taurian symbols right there on the pillars in the Rider-Waite, and the Hierophant is very much an old Greek word meaning high priest, and interestingly enough she actually married a Greek man. So let's pan the camera down. She is the Hierophant, the Temperance, she's got the Lovers and the Devil card. So Devil is affiliated with Capricorn, really hard workers, and our Queen was totally married to the role, worked extremely hard. So her year card is also the Hierophant and the Temperance. So the energies that she came in on, she also crossed over with. I've often kind of wondered, guys, as well, what the non-republic countries, how they look upon us Brits, kind of like a land of fairy tales full of historic castles, queens, princes, princesses, cobbled streets, thatched roof cottages, full of fairy tale charm and whimsy and happy ever after. In truth, the reality of the Queen's life, or at least Queen Elizabeth's life, was far from a fairy tale. Royal protocols can be extremely harsh and oppressive. You know, the royal life as a queen demands not only devotion but endurance. Silence is expected. Never complain, never explain. So Queen Elizabeth was a Taurus, and we can see those two Taurus symbols here and here on the Hierophant, and she very much embodied the qualities that go with the Hierophant. The Hierophant, as far as I'm concerned, reflects Queen Elizabeth in her most purest form. The Hierophant, of course, is devoted to tradition and serving the community, having a sustained faith to God, and the Queen was head of the Church of England, signifying her role as supreme governor and ultimate authority. That's the actual term that's used, supreme governor. And this wasn't just any old title of faith. It didn't just matter to her in public, coming along as embodying all those qualities, but also in private. She was very into saying her prayers up. She used to say, all you need is the Lord's Prayer to keep you going. So with the Hierophant then, those qualities in those kinds of people, they keep their word, they fulfill their promises, and she always aspired to do the right thing, even if it seemed stuffy and old-fashioned. She made sure that she was crossing all the T's, dotting all the I's. Elizabeth was duty-bound, falling in step, didn't make waves on the royal road. This was her idea of how a faithful, loyal queen should be, reflecting those qualities back to the people in all the communities that she visited, offering the moral support, encouragement to the common people, showing value for their work and various causes and charities. So her ethics to serve you know, her British subjects, her consistency within that role made her an exemplar teacher, and mentor and presence in those communities throughout the kingdom. Not only a teacher and a mentor to King Charles, which should give us all hope, given that he's had such a great teacher, but throughout the land. She was hoping that her subjects would embody what she was mirroring back to them. You know, morals, ethics, sticking to one's promises, all that good stuff. So the Hierophant is ruled by the number 5 there, look. So it stands for all the 5s in the tarot. So I'm just going to show you what I mean by that. So there's conflict in all of the 5s, yeah? So the Queen was, for instance, heavily criticised when Diana died, as she kept silent, didn't address the nation, rightly or wrongly, and the kingdom was literally in hysteria over Diana's passing. I kid you not. Anybody that was around at that time knows there's been nothing like it since. And British people were absolutely outraged with the Queen that she didn't respond. There was huge backlash. You know, the public expected the Queen to mourn, pay her respects, like the nation was doing, regardless of whether the Queen made the right decision or not. She held back for quite a long time, and everyone was saying, you know, the Queen's finished, it's over, the monarchy, because it seemed to lack a humanness to it, how she was behaving. So the people detached from Queen Elizabeth, placing her firmly out in the cold until she shared a public tribute to Diana. So that's the first one. And then the 5 of Swords, this reminds me of, you know, the kind of backstabbing, the lies and deceit of Harry and Meghan, stealing the name of Lilibet. This is a card of stealth, and not sticking to the promise of don't monetize the monarchy. Also the behaviour of Andrew, not everything's come out in the funny old washing, apart from he paid that woman off for whatever he was involved in, whatever was going on, allegedly, all for entertainment purposes only here, guys. But you know, if someone's paying somebody off, or to keep quiet, or to go away, something's not quite right there. So then we get the 5 of Cups, and this kind of reminds me of the enduring loss of her beloved life partner, Prince Philip. This was huge for her when her pillar of support was gone, and it demanded great emotional strength for her to continue and turn around and see what was left in her life. When you think, you know, just 4 days after his passing, and she was back to her royal duties, honouring those duties with grace, despite her own ailing health as well. Also, think back to Queen Victoria and how she acted when she lost her husband, Albert, and she shut herself away for absolutely years, plunged deep into mourning, never stopped wearing black for the rest of her life, seemed to stop serving her country in public for a while, and became quite wildly eccentric. I mean, luckily for us, our Queen was nothing like that. She was extremely brave. 5 of Wands, well, because of her long reign, she's seen, guys, 5 seismic conflicts, wars during her reign. Think of the violent troubles in Northern Ireland, the Falklands War, Iraq, Afghanistan, Ukraine. Notice with the battens as well, how we get that blue blood baton right at the very bottom there. She... well, none of the royals, you know, are on the front line of battles, but while she was a princess, she served in World War II in the auxiliary territorial service, I believe, as driver and mechanic. All that life experience in one queen. It's incredible. And all of that served on her plate to deal with. Wow. That's why we're lucky to have had her so long. She's so experienced at the job. She's seen so much. Her contrasting energy is the Temperance. And I'm just thinking of a quote of Winston Churchill, because the Temperance card is all about, you know, it's a representation of balance, the blending together of opposites. Winston Churchill said, if we let the past and the present quarrel, we'll have lost the future. And I think there's a lot of wisdom in that. So this also reminds me of the Queen's motto, the Temperance card, to keep calm and carry on. Temperance embodies patience, calm, harmony. Elizabeth never made a fuss. She walked the middle path, always humble, authentic, stoic, sober, and level-headed. She was a diplomat, whether it was society she was dealing with or governments she was dealing with. You know, it was the royal code by which she lived, to walk that middle path. And it can't have been easy for her, blending old traditions and rituals with modern ideas in order to stay relevant and try and move with the times. She was even-handed. Just thinking about, she was really even-handed, right? When she used to watch entertainers and, you know, like they're very polite at the end, applauding all the different acts, and she would give them all the same amount of time applauding them, whether she'd liked that entertainer or not. Prince Philip, completely different. Oh my God, not Elton John again. Okay, there you go. All done. All good. He would barely bother clapping. He was extremely witty, by the way, very quick. But for her, it was about a matter of respect. You gave everybody the same. It was a balance kind of thing. So her birth cards are the Devil and the Lovers. And you think about what an oppressive role that was. I mean, she was third in line to the succession. So it was highly unlikely, as she thought when she was growing up, that she would ever be queen. But with circumstances all changing, the death of her father and the abdication of Edward, it meant that her choice, because choice is you know, what goes with the Lovers card, that choice was kind of taken away from her. She was put into that role and groomed for it from quite a young age. The choice to be with Prince Philip, so he was a Catholic and of a slightly different faith, so that would have created kind of some kind of difficulties there. But like I say, she's weathered it all. She's chosen her heart's choice. There were other suitors, people that she was interested in, but that's who she ultimately wanted to be with. Now, guys, I am just going to pull a What's the Vibe oracle card for how she actually thought, or what she actually thinks. I'll pull two, in fact. What she actually thinks about her so-say favourite son, which was Prince Andrew. Any thoughts or feelings? Any thoughts or feelings, Queen Elizabeth, on your son, Prince Andrew? Because we don't know the whole story, do we? We don't know what's going on there or what's gone on. We only know he had some dodgy alliances. Okay, show us the energy, please. First of all, for Andrew. Thoughts on Andrew, please. Queen Elizabeth. Thoughts on Andrew. Thoughts on your son, Andrew. Go. Boundaries. Disrespectful. Enough is enough. Defend yourself. Okay. Put a line in the sand. Any thoughts, please, Queen Elizabeth, on your grandson, H? Thoughts on your grandson, H, please. Anything you can tell us? Yeah, I got one. Wow, look at that. Blocked. Moved on. Nothing to say. Stop calling. Blocked. The hands up. So she's not very impressed with those two. Doesn't sound like there's a lot of sympathy there. Okay, so let's choose some charms. And I just want to know what Queen Elizabeth's legacy would be, guys. If she could say anything to us, what would she say? Blimey, I've got loads here. Whoo! So we've got my yes or no coin, and it's come up as yes. What would she say hell yes to? The world. We've got an abacus. Interesting. When you count everything up, tot everything together, it's a hell yeah. I did all right, didn't I? What else we got? Yeah. Boat. Journey. The journey that she's taken through this world, this lifetime. What's that one? Oh, so she was a very simple woman, believe it or not, behind the scenes. Her greatest happiness came from those corgis, riding her horses. And guys, she was also very frugal, because with the Devil card, we get the Lord of materialism, and she would actually go around the house turning lights off, trying to save cash on the power bills, and she was always on at her family, turn the lights off, turn the lights off. There's something about go that goes with that war generation, isn't there? That they were very careful, they didn't waste food. She even saved the Christmas wrapping paper, guys. The ribbons would be ironed out, and I love that. I love that about her. What else we got? Well, we've got an angel, and the angel is in the Lovers card. Wonderful. I like that. And we did get a lot of angels in Princess Catherine's card reading, didn't we? Interesting. And yeah, she's like an angel, kind of over the world. Last one. Yeah, we've got a Catholic symbol there. So that's what goes on a rosary. Yeah. And that's what Prince Philip was, a Catholic, when he was brought up in Greece. Interesting. Okay, I think I'll leave it there. Make of that what you will. An incredible woman who I think did actually manage to get through a lot of her life lessons. She went out on the same energies that she came in on, and never deviated from those duties that she had. Yeah, I think the Hierophant is spot on for the Queen. And you know, when we had Catherine's reading and I was talking about, you know, Queen of Queens, all of that, we get Taurus energy within the Empress card, the Queen of Queens card. So interesting that she's a Taurus, but it's also affiliated to the Empress. Lovely. Okay, well, we'll leave it there. We'll keep calm, carry on, fly well, friends, and I will see you on the next. Bye for now.